That's one delay, Shelby 13, Central. 504.
1 George K.
504. 496, 494.
Are you ready to whoop it up? Bang it down till you drop. Always a start by the headshot. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Should be good? Okay, we've heard that before. All right, so we're on now? We're live?
Let's do it live.
Okay, all right. So, we were talking about, and we've gotten into this argument before.
Yep.
Okay, so, baseball. We're talking about baseball now.
Baseball.
So, Pete Rose
Yep.
and Shoeless Joe Jackson
Yep.
were
Reinstated.
reinstated. Now,
Yeah.
they've both passed away.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, long gone. Pete Rose passed away earlier this year.
So why be reinstated? What's the point of being reinstated when you've passed away? What does that mean?
That's the problem. So Pete Rose, obviously, anybody watching this, you know, hit king, 4256 hits, I think. That's probably a record never going to be broke.
We mean 4,000
Yeah.
and something hits?
Yeah, 4,256 hits. Is that better? Did that
sounds
compute
better.
for you?
You're assuming that
Okay.
everyone knows. There are a lot of young people who watch me.
Are you saying young people wouldn't know what 4256 meant?
They may not.
How dare you?
Okay.
I want to apologize to all young people viewing. I've got confidence in you that you knew what that meant.
So
anyway. He gambled on baseball. He
Who
was
did?
Pete Rose.
He gambled on baseball.
He gambled on
He bet
baseball.
on-
He bet on his team, the Cincinnati Reds,
bet on
while
his
he was
team.
a player coach.
Okay, wait a second. He
was-
bet on his team
Yes.
to win.
To win. He always bet on his team to win.
Okay.
Now, Shoeless Joe Jackson, there's the Black Sox scandal, Chicago White Sox, 1919. Him and teammates fixed the World Series. They lost the World Series. But they fixed it, right? The Mafia got involved. They lost the World Series. He was banned from baseball.
Wait. Let's talk about that for a second. You
Okay.
said the Mafia got involved.
Yeah.
Okay, could they have hurt him? Was it one of those things?
Oh, yeah, you know who it was. It's, if you watch any of the Mafia, Lucky Luciano.
Yes.
He was one of,
Well,
he
then
was one
Lucky
of the...
Luciano, he kills
Yeah.
people.
Well, but he also pays people a lot of money to fix baseball games, too. So I think
But
it had
what
more
if
to
he
do with
didn't?
that.
But what if he didn't? Don't you think that
Maybe.
something could have happened?
He could have, yeah, for sure he could have. Oh, yeah.
So maybe, just maybe,
He was scared.
he might have been a little scared.
He
I mean,
was
back
scared,
in the day,
yeah. Oh,
if
19
Lucky Luciano,
You kidding me?
or let's say if what's his name?
Al
Al
Capone?
Capone was after me
Yeah.
and telling me I needed to fix games, or else back then,
He would put you in his vault.
no social
and
media.
Geraldo Rivera
no
would
social
find
media. You know?
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh,
come
it's
on, man.
yeah. There's lots of dynamics to it. But here's the thing. So they were both banned from baseball, right? So Pete Rose spent his whole life wanting to be in the Hall of Fame. They wouldn't let him in. Passes away, and miraculously, as soon as he passes away, now they reinstate him.
Yeah, and I didn't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I agree that okay, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think Pete Rose for sure should.
And
be,
I
yeah.
think they absolutely should have reinstated him before he died.
Yes.
Okay, I just think that's wrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I say you're gonna wait till the man passes away. Okay.
That's almost like you got a vendetta against him, right? And I know, and he did a lot wrong, and he admitted it. He lied during a lot of the investigation.
And that doesn't help him. That didn't help
No,
him.
it didn't help him. So I mean, I get it, but at the same point, he's one of the greatest baseball players in the history of the sport.
Absolutely.
And by the way, one of the winningest baseball player in Major League Baseball history. His team,
Charlie
he played
Hustle.
in more wins. WAR, wins against replacement, wasn't even a stat when he played, but he's got one of the highest WARs in the history of baseball, which, by the way, while we're talking about baseball, so does Lou Whitaker. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. Another story for another day.
What I loved about Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, they call him.
Yeah.
What I loved about him, he'd get a walk, and he'd run to first base.
Yes.
I mean, run. What do you usually see players? They trot.
Yeah.
He runs to first
Oh.
base.
How about-
Okay, and then he was so into the game and was so aggressive
Oh.
and all that. I mean, he loved the game of baseball.
Here's a guy played in his career left fielder, third baseman, second baseman, first baseman, last player that was a player manager, which is when he got in trouble. He was playing for the Cincinnati Reds and he was the manager for the Cincinnati Reds. Think about this, to your point. They named a slide after him. The head first slide was
Yes.
called the Pete Rose slide.
Yeah.
Right? Look at, you watch, and it's funny now, you watch the NBA All-Star game, you watch and these guys are going 50%. Pete Rose literally ended Ray Fosse's career running him over at the plate
Yeah.
during an All-Star game.
Yeah.
That's just the type of competitor he was.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
So okay, so they're reinstated, but
Yeah.
then okay, now you talk about Shoeless Joe Jackson. You don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame?
It's a little different, and
A
for
little?
me, it's different because he purposely sabotaged his team to lose. So to me, that's different. And to be honest with you, I also got to look at Shoeless Joe Jackson's stats, right?
Yeah.
So to me, Pete Rose, you can't look at his stats and say he's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, I'd have to look at his stats. I think his stats would make him a Hall of Famer, but he purposely sabotaged his team to lose.
It's raining.
It is raining. It's raining.
I'm glad we're on our
But
yacht.
I can barely hear it.
I'm just glad we're on our yacht.
Yeah, exactly. In the
My
lovely St. Clair River,
My
on the
yacht.
mouth of Lake Huron.
My yacht.
Well,
Anyway.
for another 2 hours, I think you got running.
Okay. I digress.
Okay.
Okay. So, but then you're also saying that Barry Bonds,
Oh yeah.
Roger Clemens should also be in. But your argument is because there are players who are in who did use steroids,
Yeah. Well.
right? Or let's say player enhancing drugs. Okay.
It's a few arguments.
Okay. All right.
Can I give them to you?
Yeah, go fine.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
here, one, Major League Baseball never suspended any of these guys. They let them play.
Okay.
They let them play. They didn't have a drug testing program. And the ones they did were, they were just doing the drug test. They were like blind tests. So you knew, hey, these people got tested. This many of them tested positive, but you didn't know who it was. So that's on Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Two, to your point, a lot of these guys that are already in the Baseball Hall of Fame did do steroids. That's a known fact. And quite honestly,
Wait, a
you
known
gotta,
fact. Where are you getting your facts from?
Where am I getting my facts?
How is it a known fact?
it's because some of these guys have admitted to it.
Okay.
Now, thirdly,
Okay.
and most importantly is you let these guys play. You got to let their stats and their careers speak for themselves when it comes to going into the Hall of Fame. To be honest with you, to me, Pete Rose not getting in has made the Hall of Fame a complete joke for me.
Okay.
It's a joke.
Okay.
It's a joke.
Okay, stop.
It's a joke.
Stop. It can't be a complete joke.
It's a complete
Stop
joke.
saying it's a complete joke. You can't be saying it's because one guy can't get in.
No.
It's a complete joke.
Yes, because the hit leader, all-time Major League Baseball, is not in the Hall of Fame, and Barry Bonds, who by a lot of standards, you could make the argument is the greatest player of all time.
Did Pete Rose?
Hold on. Neither are in the Hall of Fame, which is supposed to be for the greatest baseball players of all time.
Okay.
And the fact, it's a joke.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Hey, this hall is to enshrine the greatest players of all time. Oh, except this one. Oh, and except this one. And this one over here can't come either.
Even
it's a
if
joke.
you cheated and broke the rules.
No.
Hold on. Even if you cheated and broke the rules, knowingly broke the rules and cheated, you still belong.
Okay. I like the point. So they cheated? They cheated?
They used steroids.
Okay, well,
He bet on baseball.
do you think
He bet on baseball.
Do you think major?
Was it illegal? Was it illegal for?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. No, that's a good argument. But let's stick with this point. Let's go back to
All
that.
right,
though. Okay. No, you're right. Okay, so they cheated. What did Major League Baseball do about it? Oh, that's right. They kept selling tickets and kept selling all their merchandise and kept making millions upon millions on TV money from them. Major League Baseball had lots of time to fix it. They never did.
No,
but now
I
that they're
agree.
gone, now that they're not playing anymore, now they want to punish them. You can't have it both ways. Major League Baseball cheated by letting cheaters play. If they don't want drugs, if they don't want, I shouldn't say drugs, if they don't want PEDs, steroids in the game, they should have stopped it. They never did.
I agree.
Okay. Now, going back to your point about gambling, it is funny. Was gambling illegal? Yeah, back then it was. Guess what? Now it's not. He could do it all
You
day.
can do it all day.
Yep. It's a different world. And that's sometimes I feel like things like the Hall of Fame, they have to transcend these rules because the rules are always going to change. The world is always going to change. They belong in the Hall of Fame. But you brought up a good point.
But at the same time, right?
Okay.
They'll say something like, okay, with regards to the betting,
Yeah.
okay, and we said this before, you couldn't even think about betting as an athlete.
Yeah.
And now, and they're saying that athletes, there's been a couple of, there was a 24-year-old baseball player banned for
Yep.
life
Yep.
for gambling.
Yes.
And an NBA basketball player, like 24 years old,
Yeah.
banned for
Banned,
life.
yeah.
So they're still not playing that game where,
Right.
where they're still saying you cannot bet
That's right.
on basketball. You can't bet on baseball if you're a baseball player.
Yeah.
That's still there, and they're still banning people.
They still
Okay?
they are
All
still
right?
big, yeah.
Now, do I think that Pete Rose? It's like when you're banning someone. I mean, for life.
That's right. It's a long time.
Yeah,
It's a long time.
It's like
Yeah.
wait a minute. There are people with manslaughter get off in 15 years.
Exactly.
Okay. And you're going to ban this person who is making $850,000 a year.
Yeah.
And you're saying you made some bets on baseball, so we're going to ban you for you're 24 for the rest of your life.
Isn't that crazy? And think about this. Now think about this. And we're talking about should he be banned or should? Well, guess what? Manfred, the commissioner, has already said, nah, he shouldn't be banned. We're gonna reinstate
I know.
him. So he should be there. But to me, and a lot of people will disagree. All these steroid era guys, they all belong there too.
But-
if their numbers, Sammy Sosa's numbers don't make them a Hall of
Let me
Fame.
ask you this. Don't they go past this Veterans Committee? Aren't they both ineligible for that?
Yeah, so the way the Veterans Committee works is, and even Lou Whitaker, so a lot of these guys that don't get in
Yeah.
in the years, they have to wait a few years, and then the Veterans Committee will let them in.
Isn't Rose and those guys?
He'd be in the
past-
Veterans Committee. No, they'd be able to get in through the Veterans Committee.
Still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
So they still may do it.
Yep, that's right. And this isn't a hammering. Like I like Manfred. I like the commissioner. They made a lot of changes. and some people don't like it. I do. I like the pitch clock. I like the fact that they let teams shift, but they have rules on how far you can shift. I think that's a good rule.
Right.
Some people don't like this. I do like games that go into extra innings. You start with a guy on second base because you're not going to have 15.
Yeah.
I like a lot of those rules.
Okay.
But honestly, if I'm Pete Rose's family, even if they put him in the Hall of Fame, I don't go. I boycott.
They'll go.
I boycott.
They go. They'll go. They'll go.
They'll go to honor their dad,
Yeah, of
but
course.
it's
Of
honestly,
course. And it's you know, it's bad, but okay, but they'll go. Somebody will go.
And I'm trust me, I'm a huge Pete Rose fan, and I get he made a mistake, but
He did. But
You
he
know,
bet on
he
his
paid-
own team.
and
But
he
he
paid
did
his
bet
price.
on his own team.
yeah, he paid his price. He
Okay.
paid the price. He
I will
paid the
say
price.
that. Betting on your own team is kind of different than.
Yeah.
I do.
The other side to that too is, he was a manager, right? So
Yeah.
as a manager, the argument was, look, he can do things to win one game today.
He can.
But hurts his team
That, and
the
that's
rest
a,
of the
that's
week.
a pretty
So,
good argument.
Yeah, it makes
That's
sense.
a pretty good argument.
It is. It is. So, and I'm all for, right? You ban him from, look, he can't coach a team. Look, he can't, I get it, but you could still make somebody eligible for the Hall of Fame, and they could have done that years ago. And Pete Rose hurt himself. He lied a lot and tried to hide everything. But at the end of the day, he's still one of the greatest players ever.
Absolutely.
And he belongs in the Hall of Fame. And
Absolutely.
just like Bonds, and I feel like all those guys do.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah. That's my thought.
All right.
You and you agree, disagree, fence sitting, per usual.
And that's our show
Yeah, that's yes. He knows I'm right. They belong in the Hall of Fame.
for today. We want to thank Days In,
Thank you, Dazen.
our sponsor. As a matter of fact, the sponsor for the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
hotel
that's right.
sponsor.
October 30th.
That's right, to November.
Yep.
That's right. I'll be there. We'll play. We will play doubles. Hey, we're going to play mixed doubles on the same team because he's Irish and I'm smoked Irish. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not on any PEDs.
Yeah. Knock off my hat. All right. Anyway, thanks, folks. We will see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
The brothers out.